This man is sentenced to death for insulting the Prophet Muhammad. Let me explain the situation to you. Emir Hossein Makhsoudlou, known by his stage name Amir Tataloo, is one of Iran's most controversial figures, making headlines both in the music scene and in social issues. Tataloo was prosecuted for blasphemy and received a death sentence. However, this story is not merely about a musician's conviction. It is a striking example of how Iran's oppressive regime approaches art, freedom of expression, and individual rights. Born in Iran in 1987, Tataloo discovered music at a young age and began his career facing significant obstacles. Iran's strict censorship policies prevented him from officially releasing his music, yet he managed to reach millions through social media. For Iranian youth, Tataloo became a symbol of freedom, weaving societal pressures, personal struggles, and a search for liberty into his songs. But this candor was perceived as a threat by the regime, leading to his repeated arrests over the years. Looking at Tataloo's past beyond the blasphemy charges, he was also targeted by the Iranian regime with accusations of immoral behavior and corrupting the youth. His tattoos, unconventional lifestyle, and bold themes in his music videos drew the ire of conservative society while making him a threat in the eyes of the regime. Additionally, Tataloo faced short-term arrests for alleged drug possession in Iran, charges he consistently denied, claiming they were part of the regime's efforts to silence him. Fleeing to Turkey to escape the regime's oppression, Tataloo was arrested there in 2023 under an Interpol warrant and extradited back to Iran. Upon his return, he was tried for blasphemy and initially sentenced to 5 years in prison. However, this sentence was later escalated to the death penalty by Iran's Supreme Court. This decision sparked outrage among international human rights organizations, while Tataloo's fans organized global campaigns to advocate for his right to live. Despite these efforts, the Iranian regime remained unyielding, leaving Tataloo's fate shrouded in uncertainty. His story has become emblematic not just of an individual's struggle, but of a society's fight for freedom. When examining his musical career, Tataloo's works revolutionized Iran's hip-hop and pop scenes. His songs addressing themes of freedom became anthems of rebellion among the youth. However, his tattoos, unconventional lifestyle, and critical rhetoric made him a frequent target of intense criticism from the conservative segments of society. Despite this, Tataloo continued to be a beacon of hope for his fans. He was celebrated as a symbol of resistance against the regime in Iran. His music resonated not only within Iran's borders but also on the international stage, reigniting debates about the Iranian regime's human rights violations. Today, as Tataloo awaits the execution of his death sentence, many question whether he is even still alive. In a country like Iran, where such accusations have dire consequences, the chances of survival are slim. It is inconceivable that the state would ignore such a sentence, but given the harsh conditions in Iranian prisons and the dynamics between prisoners, it is highly likely that Tataloo has already been killed. Even if the state has not formalized his death, those on the inside may have already ended his life. This represents not only the tragic end of Tataloo's life story, but also another example of how Iran's repressive regime devalues human life. That's all I have to say. Always watch what you say. If not now, in 5 years it could land you on the firing squad. If you've made it this far, you can support me by subscribing. Take care of yourself.